rounds, their legs will get stronger too, even though you're not using any weights. But first of all, I want to go into the muscular endurance work capacity thing, because I think that's what most coaches are programming for their members and athletes. But if you want to make them better, increase their work capacity, it has to be high rep number workouts. They have to be timed. Why do they have to be timed? Because you want your athletes to challenge themselves. Even though if they're going with 60%, 70%, they still will end up with the final time. And that will give them at least an idea how fast they did the workout, obviously. But if they do it again, they can measure for themselves, am I getting better or am I staying at the same pace? Plus, it puts pressure on your clients to go faster. When they know the time is running, obviously they will go faster. And you know, full body movements like a burpee, for example, or combination of movements, which I will show you later, lower body and upper body combination. So again, another really hard word, methodology, some training, just some examples how if you want to create a bodyweight workout, what you can use. There's high intensity workouts and high intensity interval workouts. There's a big difference. High intensity is, let's say, for example, 4 rounds, and I'm using always the same movements here. It's not about the movements, it's about the program. You know, if you say 4 rounds of 20 whatever, people choose their own resting times, their own speed, while in a high intensity interval training, you tell the athlete when to rest, and you tell them when they actually have to work and when the rest time is. So there's a big difference between high intensity and high intensity interval training. The intervals is always like the name is pretty obvious. You tell the athlete how long to work and how long to rest. Obviously, within those 30 seconds or a minute or 2 minutes, athletes can go fast or they can go really slow. If you design a high intensity interval workout with, let's say, 30-second burpees, squats, sit-ups, push-ups, what you can do is have your athletes count their total number of reps every round. So in the first round, they might get, let's make it easy for all of us, 10 burpees, 10 squats, 10 sit-ups, and 10 push-ups. That would be a score of 40. And you tell your athlete the goal is to don't go lower than 40, try to stay with 40, or best case, get more than 40 in each round. Because what you don't want is an athlete to get 60 reps in the first round and 20 in the last round, which would mean he went all out in the first round and totally crashed within those 4 rounds and almost died at the end. So that's what you don't just put that workout out there, give your athletes goals to work towards. And in a high interval training with which is time, tell them, you know, try the first round, take that round as kind of the benchmark for them. So the next 3 rounds, so they keep working hard. The next thing, you know, obviously could be AMRAPs or for time workouts where you create a 15, 20, 40, 30, whatever you want, how long you want this AMRAP to be. And again, the goal is to get as many rounds or as many repetitions as possible. Now, how do I give athletes a goal to work towards with a 20-minute AMRAP? What I do, 20 minutes, I have my athletes do the first round. They do 20 burpees, 20 squats, 20 sit-ups, and 20 push-ups. So let's say they took for those 4 movements 5 minutes to do that. Then I would tell them the goal should be for you to get 4 rounds, to stay with that pace. Now, here's the thing. If you look in the athlete's face after the first round and he's sweating and he's already crushed, obviously don't tell him to get 5 rounds because he's not capable of doing that. But give him a goal to work towards, so he just doesn't do the 20 minutes and just try to get through it. Try to give them a goal of how many rounds to reach. And you know what the best way is? Test it yourself. The workouts you create is test them yourselves, because that's what I tell. We do HYROX academies here where we teach coaches how to coach HYROX, and I've been coaching for a really long time, and what I tell people, do your own programming. I mean, it's really easy to go on the internet and find workouts that you use, but you will only become a better coach if you write your own workouts, and you will find out that some workouts don't work at all. People are like, what is this? This is too hard. This is too soft. This takes too long. This didn't take long enough. But this is where you get better. Then you find out, okay, this is where I made a mistake programming this, and then make your changes, and then you will become a better coach. So don't copy people. Obviously, look at other coaches and see how they do it. But I recommend to coaches, do your own programming, test it on your athletes, and you will improve more and more as a coach, because you always learn from your mistakes, right? So another thing would be for time. 4 rounds, you tell the athletes, do those 4 rounds as fast as possible. Obviously, this is a pretty brutal one with 4 rounds of 30 burpees, squats, sit-ups, push-ups. Same thing with the AMRAP. See how long an athlete takes for round 1. Let's say he takes 4 minutes, and them should be to finish around, let's say, 16 to 18 minutes. Obviously, they will get a little slower, but they have a goal to work to. They will look at the clock. They will push themselves to go harder. And this is kind of how you engage your athletes or your clients to really work even for a goal, even though it's just a goal to finish this workout in their best time. Kind of the same thing with 2 other programs. A countdown could be 40, 30, 20, 10, could be any countdown you want to choose. Like I said, it's always the same movements here. It's just want to give you an idea how you could program bodyweight workouts. And in every minute on the minute, I said here 20 minute, every minute on a minute. So in 1 minute, you have to complete 2 burpees, 3 squats, 4 sit-ups, and 5 push-ups. And you repeat that every minute for 20 minutes. Sounds pretty hard too. Now, here's the thing about EMOMs, or every minute on the minute workouts. If you design body weight or weighted workouts with every minute on the minute, you have to test them. You have to test them yourself, because you have no idea in every minute. Like if I do this, the first 3 or 4 rounds will feel really easy. And then in the 10th round, I might only have 10 seconds of rest. And then it'll get too hard. So if you don't know how an EMOM works, would be you have 1 minute to finish the asked reps and movements, and the rest of the minute you rest. So let's say for 2 burpees, 3 squats, 4 sit-ups, and 5 push-ups, I would take 40 seconds in the first round. I would have 20 seconds of rest. Now, if you have athletes in your class and you can already tell they took 50 seconds in the first round, you can already tell they will never be able to finish this for 20 rounds. Then you just scale down the reps, right? You would be like, okay, you just do 1 burpee, 2 squats, 3 sit-ups, and 4 push-ups, and see where this athlete ends up then. And scale it down if needed, or scale it up if you feel like an athlete is just standing around after 20 seconds and it's just boring for him or her. Then obviously you can increase the amount of reps. But like I said, there's not only muscle endurance. Sometimes you want to work on your members' conditioning. So we're talking about body weight movements, and body weight movements doesn't always have to be a functional movement. It can be just a run. So if you want to improve your client's conditioning, send them on a long distance run between 5 or 10K, whatever the goal is. If you're working with athletes that are training for a half marathon or marathon, obviously 5 to 10K wouldn't be enough. Again, here, time them or test them how long they take for a 5K run in the beginning, and then test them after 4, 6, or 8 weeks again. Or obviously, it's not always just about a basic, I don't know what the English word is, Grundlagenausdauer, so a basic level of endurance. Obviously, you want to push them every once in a while, bring their heart rate up, train their capability to recover. That's where you use intervals, let's say 4 times 1,000 meters with a 2-minute rest. Could be 2,000 meters, could be 3 minutes rest. That's totally up to the coach, totally up to your athletes, how you design those intervals. Or you combine, and that's what we do with our HYROX event. We combine the running with functional movements, which makes this a total different game total different game. So in our competition, athletes start out with a 1K run, then they have to do 1K on a ski erg, they run 1K, and then you have to do a sled push for 50 meters with a pretty heavy sled. So that changes totally their metabolic system, their lactic acid, yeah. It's like, you know, popping all out of their muscles. They can barely walk, they can barely run afterwards. So this is something you have to prepare them for. So a combination of running and a muscle endurance workout could be, this is only an example again, 400-meter run, 40 squats for 4 rounds and 3 rounds of 300-meter run and push-ups, 2 rounds of 200-meter run and burpees. So this is just another example of how you could improve your clients or your members' conditioning by using just body weight movements. So here's when it comes to strength. Like I said, you know, it's not easy to build significant strength with body weight workouts, but there's still some ways to improve their strength. And now, you know, in Germany we're in lockdown ever since yesterday. Nationwide, all gyms are closed. So trainers and members too, they have to come up with solutions. And if your client's goal is to get stronger and all of a sudden you don't have a barbell, you don't have a dumbbell, you don't have a kettlebell, you have to come up with, you know, solutions how to get them stronger. So work in supersets, which could mean train the same muscle group. So it could be a push and a pull. What I mean by that, you could do push-ups, a combination with dips. So both really tricep, really heavy on the tricep, a squat or a lunge. So obviously pretty heavy on the legs, or pull up on a table row, and do different rep schemes, different set schemes, but combine, you know, movements for the same muscle group. That could be different types of push-ups in combination. That could be different types of squats. That could be different types of lunges. That could be a squat and a step up. But you want to really wear out the muscles for them to get stronger. So it's a totally different approach than working on conditioning or working on muscle endurance. This is really to get stronger. And obviously a good way is working with supersets, but it doesn't have to be the same muscle group. It could be different muscle groups. It could be a push-pull. So you combine push-ups with pull-ups, or push-ups with a table row, or push-up, totally different action would be, you know, combining it upper body and lower body. So you combine a push-up with a step-up, or a pull-up with a squat. Again, here it's tough to build significant strength, but it's doable. And with you know, maybe have 3 different movements for one muscle group, it's a pretty good way to wear out the muscle and get some significant results after all. Body weight, I know this is the topic of this Zoom call, but you know, if you're outside and you have to in a lockdown, you have to come up with certain ideas to maybe make the body weight a little more than body weight, and just come up with an idea to use weighted objects, whatever that could be. You know, you could just put bottles in a backpack, put that on your client's back and have them squat, or have them do push-ups, or have them do pull-ups. So that's a good way of increasing strength. And obviously, you know, static movements. So no movement at all. Have them do a plank, have them do a wall sit, have them do a squat hold, have them do a hollow hold. So that's all stuff that you could do to make them stronger. And what works really well is just, I don't know if I spelled this wrong, right, eccentric work. So have them do squats, really slow repetition numbers, but slow them down on the eccentric way of moving. So let's say on the squat, count 5 seconds and make the athlete really take this time, count 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, and then make them come up fast. And I'm telling you, this is going to wear out every athlete on this planet. If you have them do timed push-ups, so do them a push-up, go down really slow, go up really fast. It's a great way of getting stronger by not using any equipment at all. So this is kind of what I was talking about in the beginning. So first, purpose and goal of the workout, the muscle groups, is it the right way of putting movements together? Are my athletes capable of doing that? Then, what do I want to improve? Do I want them to get better in conditioning for a long distance run? Do I want to make them better in, let's say, an event like HYROX, where they need a lot of muscular endurance and strength in their legs in combination with running? Or do I want my athletes or members to get stronger? And this is why I presented the different ways of doing that just with body weight. Now, I know scaling is a different topic, I think in 2 weeks or something, but still, I wanted to touch this real quick. If you have athletes that are not capable of doing your workouts, there's easy ways of scaling it. You decrease the rounds, you decrease the reps, you decrease the duration, or obviously you decrease the complexity of movement, and you will have people that might not be able to do a burpee. Then just scale the burpee and have them do, we call it a down up. So just don't have them lay down totally on the floor, have them get up and don't do a jump, or make them step down and step up. If you include jumping on an object, but they're scared of jumping, scale it down of stepping up. This is what I mean by the complexity of movements. Obviously, if you, with the duration, you programmed a 30-minute AMRAP and you see some of your athletes after 15 minutes almost collapsing, scale it down for them. Or, like I had a workout here with 30 burpees, and you have a person that is totally new in your training, have them do 15 or 10 burpees in the beginning, kind of see how he or her feels, and then increase the number of reps. So this is the easiest way of scaling down body weight movements, as it pretty much is scaling down any workout, as by round reps, duration, and the complexity of movements. So here again, a little conclusion. I don't even know how long I've been talking, but yeah, it looks right from the time. So again, ask yourself those questions. Who am I programming for? What's the overall goal? What metabolic pathway do I want to hit? Combine muscle groups so it makes sense. Use different methods and variations. So don't do an AMRAP every time. Don't use an EMOM every time. Mix it up so people get a different way of approaching workouts, and it's still, and the last point, actually, I forgot one point here. Test your own workouts. That's something really important that should be in here. And at the end, make sure it's fun. I've been working with a coach in the US for quite a while, and he's been programming workouts for, let's say, special forces in the military, FBI agents. And, he's a great programmer, but those workouts, they're just for performance. He wants those soldiers to be ready for combat. So they doing the same, almost said shit, the same stuff over and over and over and over again. If you're working with clients, you want them to keep paying you. You want members to keep coming to your gym. So at the end, you want progression, you want people to get better, but make sure it's fun. Because if it's not fun, you can tell people all day that it'll make them better, it'll make them fitter, it'll make them healthier. But if they don't have fun, they will quit eventually, if they're not really a really competitive athlete. So thank you for your time. If you have questions, go ahead. Now see if I can stop this presentation. All right. Wow, I see some questions.
I'll start with it. Jacob, that was brilliant. And I've been getting messages from people saying how good it is. So well done.
Oh, thank you.
And it's a good job you didn't say shit when you nearly did. But just one quick one from me. You talk very clearly about the importance of testing. And obviously you talk about athletes, but athletes, I'm sure to you as well as I've got to know you, that includes the general fitness population who are going to do HYROX events and that kind of thing. So we're not just talking elite athletes. So testing is very important across the board, isn't it, to see where somebody's at? Are you okay with the fact that because of, like you in Germany, we're about to go into a full lockdown? So are you okay that people do that on video, basically, that so if you're coaching me, I'm going to do the workout here, and you're still able to to test me, aren't you, to see what I'm capable of doing.
Exactly. I think that's even more important now, you know, because let's say you contact me via email and say, hey, you know, can you coach me online? And I've never spoken to you. I have no idea who you are. I need some kind of data to design workouts for you, whatever I feel. And you tell me your goals, what you want to do. You want to lose weight, you want to gain muscle, you want to be able to run 5K in 15 minutes. Wow, really fast. In 15 minutes. But, you know, I need some kind of data to start out with to program those workouts. So I think even virtual, it's even more important to get some kind of feedback from the athletes you train, what they're capable of. Because if you have no idea, you just start out creating workouts into the blue. You have no idea if this fits to this person or not. But if you know this person is capable of doing 60 squat, let's say 50 squats in a minute, then you know, wow, this person is pretty fit. Like he's capable of actually, you know, moving fast and moving decent. And if you have video footage of that, that's even better, because, you know, if the first squat looks great and the 50th squat looks like shit, then obviously you have to, you can't push him to go high numbers, but his form is totally bad. Then you should, you know, work with him on lower rep scheme and work on his form before increasing the number of reps, because that's what a lot of coaches do. They only go like more and more and more and more. But you know, that's the ultimate goal, that an athlete or whoever person it is still moving consistent at a high rep scheme.
Okay, thank you. Anyone, any questions? Just raise your hand if you want to ask a question. Lots of note taking going on. How do people get involved, Emma? How do people get involved with HYROX from today?
I can definitely tell you that, but I was going to say something else as well, because I think now is a real opportunity for personal trainers to be able to go to those people that have maybe been struggling a little bit, the people that they've been working with, and say, we're on lockdown for a month. This is a real opportunity now to say what my goal needs to be by the time we come back into the gym. And it's a real opportunity for personal trainers to use this body weight training, set them a goal. And it's almost like a 4-week window, isn't it? A 4-week window of really being able to train. Some of these people will be going back on furlough. Some of them will have extra time because of reduced hours or whatever, but they can't come to the gym. But we can still go to them via online analysis, or and it gives us a capacity to work with more people, because somebody might be in Newcastle and somebody down in Sussex needs some training. If you put yourself out there as somebody that can achieve goals for them with body weight workouts over a period of 4 weeks, it's an opportunity to increase your capacity. So yeah, so that was my point on the take the opportunity whilst it's there, rather than think of it as a bad thing that we're going into lockdown. Think of it, turn it the other way around, and think of all the skills you've got. Sorry, what was the question? How do you get involved in HYROX?
Yeah, because there's some
okay.
I can see in this room some serious looking athletes in this room, Emma, who want to be challenged.
Right, so obviously at the moment we haven't got any events. We should have had an event in November, but that's not happening in the UK. The first planned event is March the 6th next year, so we're keeping fingers crossed, because HYROX are working on lots of solutions to let those events go ahead. However, if you head over to Instagram at HYROX World, there are a number of workouts that are placed on there every single week, various different body weight workouts as well that you can scroll through and find on there to look at what happens with HYROX. Back in the summer, we did a virtual championship of fitness. Whether we do anything virtual again, I don't know. But the other thing that we're doing at the moment is a MyZone / HYROX team challenge for November. It's still, Susan's with us on that. Susan's in one of the HYROX teams, so's Lynn, Jacob, obviously. So if anybody wanted to join that team challenge and you've got a MyZone belt, then connect with me or Jacob on MyZone, and we can get you added into a team of 4. So that's another opportunity. We will be doing workouts every Friday online. Anybody can join them. So I can give you those details, Graham, to place to everybody that's on this group here if they wanted to join those workouts on a Friday afternoon. We've got ambassador workouts because we've got a group of 15 ambassadors in the UK who are doing workouts on a Thursday evening, so time to be confirmed. So lots of opportunities to do stuff, but if you've got a MyZone belt, then please join us in this November team challenge because it's really kicking off. It's working really, really well and everybody's really motivated. There's also the opportunity for gyms to become partners as well, but that's a totally different subject. So the minute, let's just focus on getting through lockdown.
Thank you, Emma. Brilliant. Hopefully everyone's signed up. Susan? Question?
One of the things that I wanted to point out, since America was on lockdown and we have real restrictions for gym usage, I've been doing a lot of Zoom workouts, and one of the things that is critical that I've noticed is for the trainer to ensure that the person is properly executing technically. Because it's more difficult than when you're actually doing the in person to be able to see the person. So the camera angle for, say, the squats and getting below parallel, or the proper form for a push-up, particularly if you do classes because you're muting the other person, to ensure that you're giving the form instructions so that it's a reminder to everybody in the group session. So from a lockdown perspective, since we've been doing lockdown for a long time, those are some of the things that I've noticed that you can keep on with your training, but becomes a lot more, it's a little different because you're not doing that in person.
Yeah, good point. Really good point. And in fact, we have a session in a couple of weeks' time, Susan, on that whole exercise technique thing. That's a brilliant point. Because if somebody, I mean, well, there are quite a few online workouts at the moment where the instructor's technique is questionable. So I would totally agree with everything you just said. Thank you for that. Any other questions? Okay, thank you ever so much. I've put a link in the chat box there where you can see our forthcoming sessions with Jacob. We also have a session on this Thursday. It's a thing I sort of decided to do only yesterday, and we've already got quite a few names. 2 o'clock on Zoom, and this is all about unlocking your fitness business. I've got a group of 4 guests, one of whom is in the room with us now, Karen, all of whom have some great ideas for what you can do during lockdown to maintain your fitness business, especially if you're a PT or a Group X instructor. So email me, please, if you would like to be part of that, and I'll send you the login details. That promises to be really good. I've got Carl Smith, who used to be head of fitness for Exercise for Less as well, and he's now coaching and mentoring PTs. So that's one to look out for this week. Massive thank you to Jacob. Jacob, I've got to say, what I loved about that was that you didn't actually really talk about how to put together a workout, because people should know that. You talked about the different methodologies, which can actually make or break a workout, can't they? If I'm training at home and you're coaching me and you give me an EMOM, then I know what I'm capable of as soon as we've done that first test, and then I can achieve more and beat my times, etc., etc. So I thought it was brilliant the way you structured it. I'm sure the feedback as people have had to leave has been fantastic. We've already got names down for the forthcoming weeks, but I'm sure that will grow.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Actually, I wasn't really sure what people were expecting. I only knew the title, Creating Bodyweight Workouts. I didn't know, but yeah, I'm glad you enjoyed it, and I think it's just important that creating workouts or programming training plans. You know, some people that are not from the industry think, you know, everybody can do that. You know, I just Google workouts and I just put together certain pieces and then it'll work out. But there's a lot of things the coach has to consider, and that's what I wanted to mostly talk about today.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Thank you. Round of
Thank you,
applause,
guys.
Jacob. Thank you, Jacob.
Thank you, guys.
Great to see you all. Thank you ever so much, and I'll see you on a HYROX workout very soon. Well, Emma will. Take care,
Thank
everyone.
you, guys. Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.